Travel across the land, searching far and wide. Boom, 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 deep Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
Mike!
I wanna tell you that I love you.
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning, good morrow, and good day. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider giving me a subscribe and go ahead and like the video because we know you're gonna like the video. Okay. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, and we really appreciate you. If you're returning and you're not subscribed, subscribe. So guess what, you guys? Did you know that it was Fat Liberation Month? I was gonna say Fat Appreciation Month, and what? It's Fat Liberation Month, and we're just gonna chit and chat and talk a little trash about the ridiculousness of that. I don't think that it's personally, we could just cut the video right after this statement. I think that celebrating fatness and obesity is stupid and unhealthy, and I'm sure that they're going to try and, they, meaning the fat acceptance folk or the fat liberationists, the fat activists, are going to try to come up with some kind of reason why Fat Liberation Month would be necessary, at the same time co-opting the struggles of other marginalized groups like people of color or people in the LGBTQIA plus community or people with disabilities. And I'm a little tired of it. But yeah, so if you didn't know, August is Fat Liberation Month, and let's just get into stuff. Let's get into this mess. I have saved a few posts from Instagram because that's usually, where I get all my stuff at. Some of them are reels, some of them are reedy posts, and let's just chat. We're homies, we're chilling, we're chatting, we're talking some trash.
Trash.
And yeah, let's get into it. All right, so let's go to NAFA's post on Fat Liberation Month, and then we can deep dive a little bit more into some of the other posts. Okay, so NAFA is the National Association to Advance Fat Acceptance. And a little brief history lesson. It was created by two white guys who had fat wives and wanted to normalize fat wives or just feel a little bit, less estranged for liking fat women. In 1969, nice, a young engineer in New York named Bill Fabry was very angry about the way the world was treating his wife. Let's take a look at this together, actually. So there's the two guys who started NAFA with their large wives. Good for them. In 1969, a young engineer in New York named Bill Fabry was very angry about the way the world was treating his fat wife, Joyce. He had read an article in Saturday Evening Post by Lou Lauterbach, who wrote Anti-Fatness in U.S. Culture and explained how he and his wife Anne have become refugees from the insanity of dieting. Oh my gosh, refugees. Insane. See, even back in the 1960s and 70s, they were like, we're refugees. Baby, you're not a refugee. You're not. You're a white guy in the United States. Privilege. All right, let's see what they have to say on their post. All right, so that's probably copyrighted music. While that's playing, and while you guys probably get a headache from just the flashing of art, which feels lazy to me. Anyway, welcome to the 5th annual Fat Liberation Month. We've got so much in store for you: events, entertainment, education, and more. We started Fat Liberation Month in 2021 as a gift to the hashtag fat community, and each year we offer numerous free events in celebration. We are thrilled to introduce you to this year's Fat Liberation Month artist, Dev the Pineapple. I do follow them actually. You'll get to learn more about Dev and her work soon, and you can already learn about the folks you'll be meeting this month by visiting nafa.org/FLM, Fat Liberation Month. We've still got a few special events and special guests that are yet to be revealed, so stay tuned. We are getting it started tonight, 8/1 in Minneapolis, followed by Bree is Helpful AF tomorrow. Bree is Helpful AF tomorrow. Leading us on Zoom in hashtag Fat Magic. Oh my god, I have to check out this hashtag really quick. Fat Magic. I'm scared. Check out our feed and stories for those first 2 events or go straight to nafa.org/events to register. We're excited to see you throughout August, and don't forget to use hashtag Fat Liberation Month to show us how you're honoring this annual observance. Dude, I tried to look up the hashtag Fat Liberation Month, and some of it I wasn't even. Oh, now it's pulling up. Okay. Well, some of them aren't even tagged Fat Liberation Month. They're just fat people. Like, they didn't even talk about Fat Liberation Month at all. Maybe mentioned in the comments. I'm not really sure how Instagram's doing this lately. But let's move on. Let's move on. So a familiar face we have here, Miss Giggles. I've done an episode on her before. She may be looking familiar to you. Someone had to say it. Fat Liberation Month is what the caption says. Let's take a listen.
Unpopular opinion. Some people look better fat. Some people look better fat.
That is an unpopular opinion. That is an unpopular opinion.
Somebody has to say it. Some people look better fat. Unpopular opinion.
Okay, let's listen to it again, but this time I want you to listen to her breathing. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Some people look better fat. Some people look better fat. Somebody has to say it. Some people look better fat. Unpopular opinion.
What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that some people look better fat? I mean, I don't think. Do I think I looked better when I was 222 pounds? Absolutely not. When I didn't have a jawline? No. I did not. I did not think that. I think the only thing I do miss about being fat, which is worth not having, was having an ass and then having bigger boobs. But also, do I miss having bigger boobs? I never felt comfortable wearing low-rise cut stuff. Like ever since after high school, I stopped doing that. Like wearing low-rise, or what is it called? Like low-cut shirts to show off my cleavage. Haven't done that in a while, unless it's like a special occasion. You know what I mean? I don't think a lot of people look better fat. I think maybe some people look better when they're curvy. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Fatness is not, even if you look better, that's the problem with a lot of people in the fat acceptance community. That it's about aesthetics, which like your health is more important than like if you're bagging people. You know what I mean? Like some people look better fat. Okay, well, they're not healthy and they're not going to live very long. So what do you mean? You think people look better when they're sick? That's a little crazy. Okay, and then Miss Giggles in the comment section put, you know what keeps your skin plump and vibrant? Fat, babies. It's fat. I think also, so I kind of get where people are coming from. Like, a lot of people think that you look aged when you go from being fat to skinny or thin or healthy size, actually, because like maybe loose skin, or just like maybe you're looking a little bit more hollow. Again, I feel like this is an aesthetics argument. I think that fat can age you. Fat actually does age you, I think. Personally, I think when I see a fat person, I can understand where she's coming from. Like, some people do look younger when they're fat. Some people definitely look older when they're fat. One of the people that I've covered a lot is Brie Campos. She's 35. I'm 35. We're both 35, and she looks really old. But she not really old, like 80, but like she just looks older. She looks older than 35, and I think it's due to the fact that eating a lot of the foods that make people obese, and plus eating in a surplus, but like I think it's called like end stage glycation. I say this a lot, like you're overglycated, etc., etc., etc. But like having excess sugar in the body can age you. I think it's called end stage glycation or something like that. Hold on a second. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I will link I will link I'm going to try and remember to link a PubMed article on and we'll just do like a quick run through on the nutrition and aging skin, sugar, and glycation. So like why is it doing that? Excess sugar in the body, and I'm assuming that most people who are morbidly obese have type 2 diabetes, and excess sugar in the blood can lead to glycation and advanced glycation end products, AGEs, and they say right here. And they what it does to your body is it like fucks with the elastin and makes your shit stiff. And in a nutshell, Robin dumbing it down, excess sugar in the body causes your cells to age and you look older, basically. I don't know how. I'm not a scientist, but I will link this article. Is it an article? Let's read the abstract together. Let's just do this. Okay, the effect of sugars on aging skin is governed by the simple act of covalently cross-linking two collagen fibers, which renders both of them incapable of easy repair. Glucose and fructose link the amino acids present in the collagen and elastin that supports the dermis, providing advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. It's funny because AGEs they age you. This process is accelerated to all body tissues when sugar is elevated and is further stimulated by ultraviolet light in the skin. The effect on vascular, renal, retinal, coronary, and cutaneous tissues is being defined are methods of reducing the glycation load through careful diet and use of supplements. I am a human. I am a human.
I am a real person.
This is pissing me off. This is pissing me off. All right, I'll link this one. Okay, so this article will be linked so that you guys can also take a look here. Glycation doesn't only have an effect on your aesthetics, like an effect on your aging externally, but it can also affect you cognitively. Glycation of the brain. And one of my future one of my future, I want to say victims, but they're not victims either. One of my future subjects, I won't name names, but I'm trying to do it like this week or next week, is a great example of like crazy glycation in the mind. Like, girl, you are stupid now. It's weird. But anyway, let's get back to Miss Giggles here. Oh, we've already talked about this. She thinks that people look better, fatter. I say no because of AGEs, end stage, advanced glycation end products. She looks okay. She also probably takes care of her skin, like as far as like lotion. She also has makeup on, and also we don't know if she's using any filters. I probably doubt it. She seems like she's like one of those I'm real type of girls, you know what I mean? So maybe she's not using a filter. However, she does have makeup on, and I don't know if she ever goes makeup free. Maybe. Let's see. She's large and in charge. She's I think she takes care of her skin as far as not internally, but externally. If you know what I mean. She probably uses good moisturizers and stuff.
It is Fat Liberation Month.
Okay. Just with her eyes, she kind of looks like a fat version of Cher's best friend from Clueless. What is her name? I want to say Stacy, but I feel like that's the actress's name. Dion, portrayed by Stacey Dash. Anyway, she looks like a fat Stacey Dash.
This is your reminder that fat people have always existed, that fatness does not equate to poor health, and that fat people...
Already a lie. So fat people have always existed, yes, but 72% in 2026 versus, what was it in the 90s, guys? I think it's quadrupled in adults since the 90s. Let's take a look here. All right, this cross-section analysis estimated that in 1990, 90.3% of the U.S. adult population were living with obesity. By 2022, this had increased to 42.5. By 2035, it is forecasted to increase to 46.9. That's with obesity. So I think altogether the country is 72% are obese or overweight. Out of that 72%, 40%-ish are obese. So it's doubled, let's say, since the 1990s. which, okay, yes, fat people have always existed, but can we all agree that the rate at which it is growing is unacceptable and unnecessary? Like, I don't think that this is a good sign. I don't think that I don't think a nation or a world or a country or whatever with over fat of its population, over half of its population being obese is a good idea. I don't think so. I really don't. Oh, and then the other thing too, she lied about it not equating health. What did she say?
It is Fat Liberation Month. This is your reminder that fat people have always existed, that fatness does not equate to poor health, and
Okay, that fatness does not equate to poor health. I'm gonna go ahead and say false. Now, are there people who are fat that are like, I can still do X, Y, and Z. I can still do everything that a normal healthy weight person could do. My blood markers are fine and I don't have type 2 diabetes, etc., etc., etc. Yes, there are outliers out there. There are. And I think age plays a huge part in that role. So if you are obese and you're 22 and you don't have type 2 diabetes, it's not a matter of like, if you have it, you probably will get it if you continue this life, like this path, right? Because nobody is just born fat, or like there is really no fat gene saying you are destined to be 500 pounds. It's the food. It's what you're eating and how much and how often. Americans eat way too much, way too often, and we eat way too like ultra processed shitty food, right? We're not supposed to be eating this much sugar, you guys. We are not supposed to be eating this much sugar. We really are not. Cut your sugar in half, y'all. Read your labels. Try to cut your sugar in half. Read your labels. I promise you, like, there's so much sugar hidden in everything. And this is beyond, I've said this before, it's in ketchup, whatever. We all know that ketchup is sugar sauce, basically. But, like, it's literally hidden in so much. Why does mayonnaise have sugar? You know, condiments, check your condiments. So much sugar everywhere. Even, like, I always thought it was weird that even fruit juice has added sugar in it. Fruit is sweet. Why do we add sugar to it? I don't know.
and that fat people deserve dignity, respect, and access to resources that help.
Okay. Dignity and respect. I think that's a given. I think that everybody deserves dignity and respect, like front to front. We can criticize online. I think it's totally fine. You know what I mean? But if you're like face to face with people, I think most of us, everybody actually by default treats people with respect. Most of us. I hope you guys are not assholes in public. But like, as far as getting online, and I think getting online and criticizing people who spread misinformation or spread the lies of the fat acceptance community, I think that's different.
help them thrive.
Oh, and then the other thing too is they need access to resources that help them thrive. What resources don't you have access to? I feel like everybody has access to the same resources. This is confusing. Again, I think that this is a way for the fat acceptance community to kind of like spread a little bit of fear, like, hey, you're in a fat body. This is how much the country hates you. You're getting your rights are being infringed on. You don't have access to X, Y, and Z. And it's like, where does it say that? You don't.
Not just survive, thrive. It's also
I am super confused as to what resources they don't have access to. Let me know in the comments if you understand, if you think you know what they're talking about. I don't know what resources they could be lacking. I want to reply.
Black August, a month dedicated to honoring Black political prisoners, remembering the history of Black liberation movements, and
I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? I never heard of Black August before. Black August is a annual month-long observance dedicated to honoring Black political prisoners, remembering freedom struggles, and protesting racial and imperialist oppression. It originated in 1979 inside California's San Quentin State Prison to commemorate radical activists like George and Jonathan Jackson. Okay, I just learned something. How come fat liberation gets so much how I feel like Fat Liberation Month is infringing on Black August. Let's go ahead and say that. Let me just go ahead and say that. Also, look at the comments. Fat phobia is rooted in racism too. Fearing the Black Body by Sabrina String should be a required reading in schools. What? It is wild how intertwined fat phobia and anti-Black racism are. Yes, because if you guys didn't know, Black people started fatness. Black people literally started fatness. If you are white and you're fat, you are culturally appropriating Black culture. So, that's how I hear it do you see how stupid that fucking sounds? That's how I hear it when people say that. When people say that anti-fatness is anti-Blackness, I just go, oh, you think that fat is Black and Black is fat. If I'm wrong in thinking that that type of thing is kind of racist to say that fat equals Black, let me know if I'm wrong. If you are Black, let me know if I'm wrong or if that also bothers you as well. Because obesity does not discriminate, and obesity is dangerous. And especially if you are a Black woman, the number one killer, the leading overall cause of death for Black women in the United States is heart disease, cardiovascular disease. 60% of Black women aged 20 and older die from cardiovascular disease. I feel like anybody with a tinfoil hat would be like, this is like I'm not saying that this is the case, but anybody with a tinfoil hat would probably be like, is the fat acceptance community trying to get rid of Black and brown people? See what I'm saying? Because it's dangerous. Obesity is dangerous. Let's move on. Oh no, let's keep going.
Continuing the fight against racial and systemic oppression. This is also your reminder that Black people deserve dignity, respect, and the resources that they need to thrive, not survive, thrive.
I'm confused, again, with the resources thing. Like, I don't think that the resources aren't available to people. I think it's the fact that people can't find them or they don't know how to find them. Do you know what I mean? So if you don't know how to find resources, I definitely would suggest you hit up your local library. First of all, support local libraries, but hit up your local library. If you go to church, also, a lot of people at church will probably know what to do, where to get you help. I guess I'm confused, like, what? No, let's just hit up your local library, support local libraries, and just do a Google search, okay? In your area. Yeah, I'm sure. I think people need to no curiosity to just search for it. I don't know. Am I missing something? Are there a lot of people out there that don't have resources, or are there a lot of resources out there that are underutilized? Because I think that's the case, and people just don't know how to find those resources.
These aren't separate struggles. Fat liberation and Black liberation are deeply interconnected. If we fight for one, we must fight for the other because liberation requires intersectionality. Neither liberation is complete without the other.
I just don't think that people are not liberated, though. I'm so confused.
Happy Fat Liberation Month. Happy Black August. Let's continue building a world where everyone has dignity, respect, and the resources they need to thrive. It is fat.
She has such pretty eyes. Wow. Okay, this is a small creator, but I wanted to see what they said. They have like no comments and no following, but sorry. Okay, also like that the Delta Quadrant. Also like that there aren't any girl. Also like that there aren't many they also like that there aren't many statistics about our experience with oppression, because in order for that to happen, it would actually need to be recognized as oppression, but we're not there yet. Fat liberation month, fat acceptance. I wouldn't call it oppression because you're doing it to yourself, baby. You know what I mean? Like, you are disabling yourself. All right, I'm gonna mute it. Okay, fat people are 3 times more likely to be gatekept from medical care than thin people. I love when they make these like statements and they have no like comments or like discussion as to what they're talking about, like no resources or anything like that. No references, I mean. Fat people experience much more employment discrimination than thin people. I don't believe that. 'Cause you can't really. Can you prove that though? I don't know if you could prove that, or if this is just a an observation. Okay, 89% of fat people report having been bullied by romantic partners. Picking the wrong ones. Anti-fatness leads to higher rates of anxiety and depression in fat people. Yeah, that's because when you have excess adipose tissue on your body, it acts as an extra organ basically, and is hormonally active, and all those swimming around hormones and all that jazz can do a lot of fucked up shit to your brain and give you anxiety and depression. I was way more depressed when I was schmobese, but I was feeling a lot better, and then I don't know if I already told you guys this, but I'm back on my Wellbutrin now because mommy has a chemical imbalance, I guess. Fat kids are 2 to 3 times more likely to be bullied than thin kids. True, actually. 60% of fat people struggle to find clothes that fit them at all. That sucks, but if I could no longer... Here's what I think is crazy. If I ran into a problem where I was like, holy shit, I can't fit through these doors anymore. I'm starting to find that I'm at the largest clothing size that's offered in my area, and I'm about to not be able to fit in that either. I'm 2 weeks away. I'm 2 weeks worth of eating away from being forced to just wear a sheet everywhere I go. I would make changes. I would be like fasting basically, because that's not good. Like, these fat acceptance folks, these fat acceptance creators, they see this, they go, oh my gosh, they're not making clothes for us because we're so fat, they hate us. When it's like, no, you're growing too much for people to keep up. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that we can see a size 26 at a Walmart now, or a 24. What's the largest in my area? Okay, I'm looking at my Walmart. Let's look at dresses. Casual dresses. Will these come in number sizes? Let's see. Clothing size. 28. A 28. Can I pick it up in store? So in store is clicked. Okay, 2X, 4X. Runs large. Do they only do sizes that are like, they don't do number sizes at Walmart? They only do like XL or whatever? This goes up to a 5X? God damn. That would just look like a fucking pillow, like a giant pillowcase on you. Terran Sky is cute. Dude, Walmart is getting it. Walmart is getting it lately, honestly. Like, I do see stuff from Walmart and I'm like, ugh, I would like to get that, because they actually do have a lot of like 100% cotton stuff lately. And I really want to buy it, but I'm like, also, I have clothes. You know what I mean? Do you ever be like that? You're like, I have enough clothes. I'm good. I'm good. Anyway, they go all the way up to a 5X. What size is a 5X? What dress size is a 5X? A 30! A 30? Y'all, this is crazy. This is insane.
This is madness.
It's too much. But anyway, 60% of fat people struggle to find clothes that fit them at all. I'm sorry that you struggle to find clothes in store. I'm sure it's difficult to find clothes in store, but most people are shopping online anyway. One, is that what most people want to do? No, because we want to try clothes on in person. I get it. Okay, let's say that's okay. I'll give you that. That sucks that you struggle to find clothes. However, it wouldn't be that way if you would just be a normal size. And I'm saying normal, like average. What's the average size in the United States right now? 16 to 18, right? If you were just like a 16 to like a 22, I feel like it would be easier for you to find a size. Going up to a 5X, being a size 30, That's crazy. Is that the large? But most people are. Let's say that the majority, the 60% of people who struggle to find clothes that fit them. I would say this is just me spitballing, but I wonder if like the people who are size 16 to 22, you can be a size 22 and be complete, like we can have 3 people that are size 22 and they can have completely different body shapes. Like one of them could just be size 22 in the tummy and then have really skinny legs. One of them could be like flat stomached and then have just like huge legs and a huge ass, and then that's why they're a size 22. So I can see like finding jeans being difficult. At a point though, you just gotta have to be a skirt person, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's find solutions. The solution is to lose weight. I'm just being for real. But it's not even aesthetics or for you to find clothing. You should want to lose weight because it's better for your health and healthier for you, right? Is that a hard ask? It is a hard ask for Americans. Fat women and trans people are significantly more likely to experience intimate partner violence. True. Again, though, they're bringing in other marginalized groups to like make people pay attention to them, I guess. Do we agree? Do we agree that they probably brought in trans people so that people would take them seriously? They could have just said fat women. I think women in general, clearly, you know. Body size is only a protected category in a handful of places in the world. List them, but I know that New York City has that law where you can't discriminate against fat people anymore. But who was even admitting that they weren't hiring people because they're fat? Like, I don't think anybody was. It was weird. Fatness continues to be excluded from discussions of intersectionality. Okay, this is Fat Girls in Fiction. Happy Fat Liberation Month. This month and every month I share books with people living in larger bodies. But this year I feel that it's more needed than ever. As a community, we are facing so much more ugliness and hatred than ever before. Where progress was made, we have lost some ground, but that doesn't mean we give up. No, that means we keep fighting, keep showing up, keep living our living, taking up space unapologetically.
Did you know that August is Fat Liberation Month? If you didn't, now you do. And what are you going to do to celebrate it? I know what I'm going to do.
What am I going to do to celebrate Fat Liberation Month? Nothing. Making more episodes for y'all.
I am going to share books with fat representation. I'm going to share authors who write those books. And I'm going to share people who are doing really positive things in the fat community. Because here's the thing, it has been a rough couple of years for people living in larger bodies with the rise of certain medications.
Obesity. Diabetes.
And the hate that has just started coming out online that is bleeding over into our real lives. We have seen a backlash to the body positivity movement. We have seen...
Yes, because there are people in the body positivity movement who have ruined it for others, meaning that they share misinformation about like excess body fat. So coming onto the internet and being like, being obese doesn't mean that you're unhealthy is a blatant lie. Okay?
Our clothes disappear from shelves in stores entirely.
I don't think so. We just looked at Walmart. You can pick up a 5X in store.
Seen so much hatred. We have seen people who were our icons down to nothing, you know? And I feel like we need a win, right? We need a win. So I'm going to spend this month sharing people who inspire me and who can inspire you, and stories that make me feel healed and loved, and I hope can make you feel the same. And we are going to love and support and uplift each other. I mean, at Fat Girls in Fiction, we do this year round.
We do this year round. Fat Girls in Fiction, 23,000 followers. Mary Warren. Fat girls belong in all tropes. Okay. Back with another Fat Girls Belong in All Tropes. Today we're taking about books with those confident, powerful women we all love. Oh, I've seen this page before. All of the books that she recommends, the fat woman, the fat main character, it's just them like falling in love, or it's all romance books is what I'm trying to say. They're all getting banged. Oh, not this one though. Okay, Inner Own League. This looks like okay, very very much romance novels. Romance, 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 romance. These what's all the books are romance books. Let's see. Fat Girls in Fiction. Romance. Romance, sexy romance, more romance. Sexy romance with an orc man. I don't think those are romance, are they? Skate Ever After. I love the strong, powerful woman that these covers. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, there's one that I don't think that this is a. Oh no, there's love in this one. It's all romance. Is that all we're good for as women? Is like being in romance novels? Let me know in the comments below. Is there any like just fantasy or like non-romance books out there? These are all romance books. Oh my god! Oh my god! Call the police. This is yucky. I mean, they're all romance books, and I don't. Is there anything other than getting banged that women want to read about? Come on, you guys. Come on.
We just are a little more loud and intentional about it in August. So happy Fat Liberation Month.
Happy Fat Liberation Month.
And let's read some books and watch some movies. And
they're all romance books, though. I'm bored. Give me like a detective book or something that doesn't end in the girl getting fucked by like a cop.
Do all kinds of things we can to help uplift people in bigger bodies, whether it's you or someone you love. We're all worthy of love right now in the body we're in. And this is the month that we remind ourselves of exactly that.
Okay, I agree that everybody is worthy of love. Your personality is more important than your body or whatever, but the fat acceptance community celebrating an entire month of fat liberation is telling me like, let's celebrate being fat, which also tells me like, I want people to be obese and unhealthy, and I cannot allow that.
Hi everybody, Susie here from Fat Fab Free. I just wanted to take a moment and wish you
fatfabfree.org. Fatfabfree.org. .org. How? Okay, fat people deserve safe, accessible public spaces. Fat Fab Free is building the first community-powered accessibility platform and app designed to help fat people and others in marginalized bodies navigate public life with more confidence, dignity, and safety. Our goal is simple: help people know what to expect before they arrive. This is an app to tell you how far you have to walk from the parking lot, I think. The problem isn't discomfort, it's access. Millions of people encounter barriers that are rarely documented, rarely discussed, and often invisible to anyone who doesn't experience them. Most people have no way to find answers about accessibility before they arrive to a new place. As a result, may delay care, avoid services, cancel plans, or enter new spaces carrying unnecessary anxiety. Honestly, as somebody who also likes to research what parking is like or where to park, this might be a good idea for an app like for everybody. Let's take a look though. Okay, Fat Fab Free is creating one of the first platforms with a searchability directory focused on size accessibility. Beginning in healthcare, the directory will combine community reporting, facility level accessibility data, moderation, and research-ready gap analysis. Over time, the platform will show users to search for providers, facilities, and services across a public sector, share accessibility information, report experiences anonymously, discover spaces that better meet their needs, help identify patterns and access gaps. Okay, honestly, great idea for an app. Like, I'm not even like blowing smoke. Like, that is a great idea for an app. Seriously. I think that they could actually do better if they took the fat name off of it, You know what I mean? Like, I feel like from a business stance, that's not going to do well, I don't think. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are like, no, obesity and fatness is unhealthy, right? I think if they change the name and it would open it up to more than just fat people to share their experiences on there. Because sometimes, I mean, anxiety is a big problem in this country, and a lot of people do. I just think that this app would help more than just fat people. You know what I mean? And I mean, they were talking about other people in like marginalized bodies, but I do think it'll help more people with. It has the opportunity. What's the word I'm looking for? It has the space to help more than just people in marginalized bodies or fat people. Why healthcare first? Okay, people in larger bodies frequently report difficulty finding appropriate medical equipment. Okay, so great idea. They'll tell you like, hey, this particular doctor's office has a X-ray machine or a CAT scan machine that's large enough for you and other large animals. Accessible seating, weight neutral care, providers and staff who treat them respectfully. So honestly, if this app was up and running, I'm not sure if it is, I would be able to tell them that my doctor's office does provide extra large seating in every office, in every little office that you go in to get seen. Huge seats, and they are worn out because it's very fat in this country or in this city. Actually impressed. Very cool. Let's keep reading. Let's keep it going.
All a happy Fat Liberation Month, which I secretly, not so secretly, love, is occurring in August, because that means two things. It's my birthday, and also we can have pool parties. So this year, at the end of the month,
I did an episode on Fat Liberation Month for my members, so if you're not a member, become a member for $2 a month by hitting the link below. But I mentioned Fat Liberation Month in my last members video, and Angelica Unfiltered was like, well, why is it why is it in August, the hottest month? It's like in the middle of summer or something like that. And then another person was like, is this a hate crime? And it feels like it is. But it's true, you can do a pool party.
I'll be hosting a Fat Fab Free pool party in Durham for fat folks and others in marginalized bodies to swim, lounge, float, relax, play games, eat and drink, and most importantly, be in community with one another. So stay tuned for details of that coming up. The date is set. It'll be happening on August 29th. So if you're in the area or if you feel like making a trek to meet some new friends and support.
That's crazy. I wonder where it's even going to be at. Is it going to be at their house?
Fat Fab Free. Stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. Also, shout out to Fumbalinas for the most amazing garment that I have ever worn in my life. An early birthday present from my podcast co-host, Dr. Krista Nauber. If you're not following our podcast at Thunder Thighs and Bedroom Eyes, check that out too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for following along on this journey, and can't wait to see you around the pool at the end of August.
Thunder Thighs and Bedroom Eyes. Not a lot of followers, 1,200. About Fat Joy. Fat and effed? From over a year ago. In this vulnerable and insightful episode, Dr. Kristen and Susie are joined by the delightful Jalen, J-Bay, for a chat about how to travel with accessibility needs, dating on the apps as a fat, queer, polyamorous person, and how medical fat phobia can truly be life and death matter. Thanks for listening, as always. Blah, 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 blah. One of them is a doctor.
Oh, for my 50th birthday. Oh, which is the next big one, and I can't even believe it. Y'all, life goes fast, YOLO. I want to get like 20 of my closest people together. I want us to dress up and...
You know what I do have a little bit of jealousy over is that the fat acceptance community does have community. I can't get 20 people to come together. Maybe someday. Okay. All right, now I wanted to do a couple of the readier ones that I thought were a little bit ridiculous. Let's take a look here. So this gal, I just found her a couple of weeks ago. Let's read. Okay, August is Fat Liberation Month. Here are some things I've learned over the years of the journey, on the journey of accepting my body. Being fat isn't something I need to apologize for. I'm allowed to take up space. Okay. Clothes are made to fit bodies. Bodies were never meant to fit clothes. Fat people can wear crop tops. Shift dresses? Is that what it's called? I can't read that. Why would you fucking do this? Why would you do this? Dresses, etc., whatever it makes us feel good. Why would you do this? Why would you pick the color? Next, being fat does not make me less worthy of love, friendship, or affection. Fatness and beauty can both exist. Fat people are beautiful, stylish, creative, and worthy. I think this is a cute outfit. I don't know about this one, though. My fat body has carried me through every good memory I have. Girl. I'm scared. Hold on. Okay, fat does not mean incapable. Fat bodies can be strong, active, and hardworking. Are you hardworking? Are you strong and active? They claim that, and then I'm like, no, you're not, though. You're not any of those things. Fat people deserve kindness without having to prove they deserve it. I mean, everybody deserves kindness as a default. You should treat people with kindness as a default. And then work up to see if you can be a little bit of a dick to them. Fat bodies are worthy of care. We don't deserve to be discriminated against because of our size when it comes to healthcare. Does that happen? Does that happen to, I believe this person is in the UK. Does that happen in the UK? Let me know, you guys. Does NHS, is it called NHS? Do they discriminate against you for being fat? I think that I do believe, so I've experienced medical fat bias, medical fat bias in my lifetime. If you don't know this, I did have a cancer scare. I had precancerous lesions in my vagina, in my uterus, where and it led me to be bleeding out basically for like over 100 days, multiple occasions. And I went to a doctor, a white man, just kidding, a man who was like, maybe you should do some vigorous aerobic exercise and try to lose weight. And I was like, this is more than weight loss, because I had already started like a weight loss journey and I had lost like 15 or 20 pounds, I think. And nothing, it wasn't slowing down is my argument. So it wasn't slowing down. Went to the doctor again. He told me to get exercise. And I think I was even like going to the gym too. But he told me to get exercise. And so then after that happened, I went to another doctor and they were like, let's get an ultrasound and a biopsy taken care of. And then they found the precancerous cells and polyps inside. So I do believe that medical fat phobia and medical fat bias exists. However, I don't think it exists to the extent that fat people are making it seem, right? But also I think they spread this it's not a lie because it does happen, but I think that they spread it so much that it scares people from finding help. Do you know what I mean? Like if you were told most of your adult life that whatever you do, anytime that you go to the doctor, they're always going to tell you that you're fat and you need to lose weight. That could scare a lot of people from even wanting to go to the doctor, right? Because they're like, I don't want to hear it, just whatever, you know, maybe I do need to go lose weight, yada. Not everybody's like me who would be like, no, fuck you. I know something's wrong and I'm going to get a second opinion because bleeding and weight, you know, this is a problem, right? So I'm 50-50 on this page. So like, yes, it happens. It doesn't happen to the extent that they are spreading. I feel like they're spreading a little bit of fear. What is this called? Fear mongering. I think that it scares a lot of people from actually going to the doctor and getting help. But at the same time, I'm also like on the side of medicine where you should, like, losing weight is a great first defense. Like the way that your lifestyle and your eating habits and all that jazz is a great first defense against illness and disease. And being in an obese body will never be okay or healthy. Okay? Fatness does not define I don't know what that says, dreams or goals. This is terrible. Are you an influencer? 1,000, almost 2,000 followers. They look crazy. They look crazy. Oh my god. Fat girl fits. Girl. Her lip injections are migrating, so they're doing that whole like duck look.
Remind me that I'm him again.
It's not even closing. You look like shit. I'm sorry. That looks like shit. So sorry. You look uncomfortable. What are we doing here? This is like one of those people who, you know, this is kind of, this reminds me of somebody who thinks that they're hotter than they are. It's kind of like body dysmorphia, but like the other way around. But maybe that's good. Maybe we should all be like that. Like, I don't know. It seems like they're living their best life. Are they though? Are they living their best life, or is this just for show? And they actually feel like shit, you know? Let's see here. That doesn't look cute. It all looks like plastic clothing too. Where it's from Shein. That's why. Yuck. Are they on TikTok? 22,000 on TikTok. 22,000 followers on TikTok. Is it easy to get followers on TikTok? I feel like everybody who shows up on Instagram with 0 followers has a shit ton on TikTok. I'm so confused. August is Fat Liberation Month, designed to show the world how fat people are thriving despite society's biases and prejudices. I want to talk about what that means to me as an author. Oh my god. It's going to be more fat fucking books. Although both of my books have plus-size main characters, that wasn't always the case. For most of my life, I struggled with self-confidence around my weight and most obsessively wrote skinny characters as wish fulfillment. But it didn't make me happy. It just made me hate what I saw in the mirror more. So instead, I challenged myself to write chubby main characters whose stories weren't about their weight, who were kind, generous, brilliant, but with all the flaws that would make up any well-rounded character. Well-rounded. I'd like to say that it was easy, but I had to confront a lot of my own biases to make these characters the heroes they deserve to be. The main character from Voyage of the Damned, Dee, was originally the typical comedy relief chubby sidekick, but he got promoted by stealing the show with his wit, charm, and complete disaster bisexual vibes. Most important to me was that he loved his body. And although he has issues, none of them are about him being chubby. I have way too many other insecurities about worrying about the softness of my thighs and belly. Besides, I have padding. I grab my stomach, he pokes it, but instead of drawing back, his finger lingers there. You guys, it's all, why are we only writing? I feel like if we're writing about fat people, it's just to sexualize them. I don't agree with this either. I don't agree with this. Cute for a chubby guy, wrong. I'm cute because I'm chubby. I clutch my thighs. Oh my god. Okay, the main character from Bone Door is an 11-year-old boy called Hop. Please, this is about children. I hope it's not a love story. It is rare that the hero in any story with children MCs is a chubby kid. They are usually the sidekick or the bully. In reality, chubby children are more likely to be bullied and not believed due to their size. But Hop is someone who is a leader, loved by his friends, and sees his size in his typical Hop way, very matter-of-factly. This is better. They have more fat. They will serve us for many meals, especially the blonde one. Hey, Amber snapped, don't be cruel. Hop didn't find it cruel. He was rounder than Amber. There was more to him to eat. That had to be a positive. That's so funny because it's like, well, they're right. As somebody who grew up as a millennial with very little positive fat representation, it means a lot to me in my own journey to be writing it. I believe only by humanizing people we don't usually see as heroes, we also break down bias that exists in real life. Until plus size characters are as common as straight size ones, I will continue to center them in my books. I don't really care about that. I do care about like the sexualizing and stuff like that. But I mean, it is kind of cool to see a chubby, are they chubby? This just looks like a muscular kid. The art is not giving me chubby. The art is, even this doesn't seem fat to me. And I wonder if the fat acceptance community would be like, this isn't fat. Whatever. Anyway, it is kind of cool to see a fat. But is it? Do we need fat representation for our kids to be like, cool, I want to be like Hop, fat? I don't know. Until plus size character. Okay. This month, I ask other writers to consider when creating characters, which are the ones you choose to be fat. Are all the fat characters villains? Are any of them sexy? Or do all of the fat women fulfill soft, mothering, or supportive friend roles? Are the fat characters ever cool? What about heroic? Does your fantasy heroine truly need to be starvation levels of thin? Is her being poor enough of a reason? Can you not conceive of a world like ours where the poorer you are, the less access to healthy meals and therefore more likely to be fat? Obesity affects every class in the United States, right? So there are obese rich people and there are obese thin people. There are obese poor people. Poverty in some areas can show like higher rates of obese people, but also in other areas, like I would say, but there are also people who are in poverty in the United States that are like not eating at all and they're not obese, right? That is such a cope to me, like, because where the poorer you are, the less access to healthy meals and therefore more likely to be fat. That's such a cope to me because it's not because you're poor that you're eating those shitty meals, because you can buy healthy meals for cheap, like at Walmart, for like the same amount and it'll last you more than one meal. You know what I mean? I brought this up before, but like a bag of broccoli that'll last you like 3 meals is $6, and then you can get some turkey or ground turkey or ground chicken or even like chicken breasts for like the same amount. That's $14. Whereas you would spend the same amount, you'd probably spend $15 per meal at McDonald's, right? And if you're like, well, I can go to the dollar store and just get like 12 $1 packs and that's 12 meals right there. Like, no, that's not even a meal. I don't know. Those are snacks. I don't know if this is a good argument, but it just seems like a cope and more like laziness. But I get it. You know, life's hard, right? You don't want to cook when you get home. But at the same time, I don't think it's a great argument to be like, well, because you're poor, you don't want to cook. Like, that's not how it works. You can get affordable food that's better for you than McDonald's or like ultra processed crap. You can. It is affordable to do it is affordable to go Whole Foods. And if you're not going Whole Foods, you don't have to buy chips. Like, you don't. Or candy, right? I'm not saying everybody has to write fat leads, but I encourage writers to question their own biases, especially now with fat positivity movement being pushed back by heroin chic. Guys, nobody wants heroin chic. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants heroin chic unless you are immature or mentally unwell. Nobody is looking for heroin chic. We literally are in the middle of an obesity epidemic. We are just trying to not get diabetes and other comorbidities with obesity. We just don't want to be obese. It's unhealthy. Period. If you want to learn more about how I approach writing fat characters and why it's okay to let them eat, please check out my blog, Writing Fat Characters, www. All right, that wasn't going to be my last one. This is my last one. August is Fat Liberation Month, so I have to ask. It's all about books. Okay. Publishers, where are all your promotional posts and roundups showcasing your books that feature body diversity? Bookstores, where are your tables and displays celebrating fat stories? Okay, so she's upset that there's no Fat Liberation Month introduction. Like when you walk into like a bookstore, like if you go to Bookman's, is it Bookman's? Books A Million. Sorry, Bookman's is in Tucson. But you go into Books A Million or into Barnes & Noble, when you walk into the store, they usually have a table that like is themed for like the month. So like if it's Pride Month, then you have a bunch of like LGBTQIA plus authors or stories that center the LGBTQIA plus communities or like people, etc., etc., etc. So she's wondering, like, when I walk into the bookstore, why don't I see a table of fat characters, right? Why don't we? Why don't we? Readers, where are your lists of recommendations for books with fat main characters? I don't read. Oh, right, there aren't any, because fat phobia is thriving. Look at this, though. Every book is a love story. That's a problem. Maybe I should become an author and write a fat lady. No, I can't give in. I can't give in to it. They're trying to draw me in. And I see business. But if you're an author, you would probably make some money off of these fat people if you wrote a book that wasn't fucking romance related about a fat person. Because you don't need to. Can we have like somebody who's ace and fat? Where's the ace fat people books? I see you ace people. I want like a I want like a villain story, like a bad fat person who isn't looking for love and just does bad things. But not too bad, you know. Do I want a villain story? Am I evil? If fat people are the only ones who care about how we're treated, fat phobia will persist and continue to get worse. Show up for all marginalizations, read, buy, and support books where you can't see yourself, and demand that the book industry / book community do the same. Anyway, you guys, it's Fat Liberation Month. How are you celebrating Fat Liberation Month this month? We're almost to the middle of the month. Do you think that Fat Liberation Month should be a national a nationally recognized celebratory month? Should bookstores be putting out fat main character books on their carousels when you enter the store? What are your thoughts and opinions on the rise or decline of fat phobia? Do you think that, you know, in 10 years from now, do you guys think that they're going to win? Like, do we think that eventually being fat will be a protected, is it race? A protected, like, do we think that fat people will be a protected, like, group? I don't know. Wouldn't that be strange though? Wouldn't that be strange if in 5 years from now, like, being obese was, you could work yourself into becoming into entering a protected group and get a lot of, like, maybe resources? I don't know. Let's discuss in the comments below. That would be really weird, don't you think? If, like, if all it took for you to get a disability was just to be over 250 pounds, and then you get, like, an extra check every month, and you probably don't have to work. Maybe. I'm not sure how disability works sometimes. I'm just spitballing and chatting and chitting with you guys, my homies, you know? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think I should cover next? I have a couple of ideas for this week, particular creators, and obviously on Friday I'll be doing Fat Logic Friday, so come back Friday and let's chill. If you made it all the way to the end and you haven't liked the video already, go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and if you made it all the way to this part of the video, leave an elephant in the comment section below to celebrate Fat Liberation Month. Remember to liberate anybody who's fat, and if you are thin this month, please step aside. Don't leave the house because it's Fat Liberation Month. So if you are in a skinty body, sorry, you don't get your own month. You have the whole year to celebrate your body. So hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.
Do you remember when we met? Last day I knew you were my pet. I wanna tell you that I love you.